Hi, good morning everybody. This is Nicholas Teo from CMC Markets here in Singapore. Just a few stories today. In a few minutes time, we're going to see the China PMI flash estimates coming out. Markets forecasting for 49.4. This is a slight uptick from the previous read as in the forecast. But it'll be interesting to see where or which side of the 50 this new number comes out. Now, as we all recall, I mean, China was on break yesterday for the Dumpling Festival or annual Dumpling Festival, and this is on the back of a very sharp sell down on Friday itself. Friday we saw, I think, the index or most of the major indices in China, namely your CSI 300, your Shanghai, your Shenzhen, and your A50s, took a huge drawdown of roughly 5 to 6% in some cases. Whether this will continue into this week or not remains to be seen, but certainly there's enough fear out down there and panic if you were to listen in to the online chatter for online forums, and everybody suggesting that with this tightening of margins that are starting to be enforced by some of the local brokers down there, we may see this fuel that has provided this rally for much of this year being taken off. But certainly this is still very early days, and we've got a number coming out. We may see reaction to that. Now, Keppel Corp is a stock which I like to pick up in Singapore. If I just pull it up here, actually let me blow it up even bigger. Today there was fresh allegations, or rather not fresh allegations, but there is new news reported in Bloomberg that suggests that the arrest that we saw happening in Brazil, linking a very high flyer, Marcelo Oberek from the Oberek empire, being arrested, linking it to the Petrobras situation. Now, essentially, these new revelations came with a report on Friday, late Friday in Brazil, that suggests that Keppel Corp and Sembawang Marine may be two names associated to the bribery scandal. Whether this will have a big play onto this stock, Keppel Corp, remains to be seen. It's still early days, but looking at the stock, it's actually bouncing off this 840 level for actually the third time this month. Not saying too much, but essentially this level could prove to be either a key support, or if it breaks through, we're going to see an accelerated sell down to the next support level of around $8 here. Interesting to note also that since we are now in the month of June, or closing into the first half of this year, we have not seen any major contracts being announced by neither Keppel Corp nor Sembawang Marine on the rig building front, which has been their mainstay business all along. Essentially, there is a potential spot for vulnerability where this company is concerned. But besides that, numbers just been out, 49.6 on the PMI. Initial reaction is a slight uptick on this index, which is the China A50 June and July contracts, and we're also seeing a slight rebound on the Hang Seng Index, or Hang Seng 43 or Hong Kong 43, after the initial pullback. But whatever it is, still early days. I think the Greek situation still holds key, and I think markets are trading to the sentiment of that. The last thing I want to point out too is that despite the Greek rally that we saw, the Greek positive flows or news flows that we saw last night, bonds are still at pressure. The Euro bond last night was sold down quite heavily, as were the UK gilts, the 10-year gilts, and also the treasuries in the US. Essentially, it's not over yet. I mean, the turmoil or the volatility we are seeing in greater markets, and we will continue to see that as we head into the month end, which could be an important window dressing sort of activity. But besides that, that's it. Thank you very much.